Welcome to Talladega Super Speedway, a track known for high speeds. The big one, HSR Money Racing, is here tonight. Currently kind of had to do a late stream. SDK was taking a little bit longer to update. Do not know why it does that, but it likes to do that to me all the time. But we did make it into the race. Drivers, of course, pretty much starting grid is what you see on the right now. I can pull that up very quickly. Actually, I might as well do that when I have the chance to do that. So you can see Kyler win first, Alex Hill second, Ken McCullough Jr. third, Drew Hopkins fourth, Christopher McCullough fifth, Brandon Cox sixth, Ron Morse Jr. seventh, Zachary Nelson eighth, Kevin Winker ninth, Ambrose Knebel 10th, Eddie Cox 11th, 12th is Dylan Jones, 13th, Austin Green 14th, Zachary Tostovan 15th, Joseph Hurst 16th, Daryl Young 17th, Devin Ray 18th, Cole Larson 19th, Chris Vander 20th, Dakota Atkins 21st, Darren Miller 22nd, Bradley Shepard 23rd, Darren Hellman 24th, Larry McDonald, and 25th, Michael Skeely. That is the drivers here tonight. Wait for them to start going around the track and give them all a paint refresh. I do know some people's paints will like to mess up sometimes. Yeah, there you go. So it looks like everybody has gridded. No, we're waiting on one person. Austin Green is the only car that hasn't. He actually has missed the start. It's an interesting tactic to pull, but, I mean, worth a shot. Might as well try it. These guys will go white for just a little bit, and then the paint schemes, if they do have one, will load in right after that. The way I have it set up, some of them will be white. I actually might give them a second one because it looks like some of them may have a paint scheme, some of them may not have one. I just want to make sure. Surprised Austin Green must have just barely missed the grid because you don't normally see people starting the pits here. Now that could be a tactic to kind of avoid the big one, but have to latch on to this group in the draft because if he doesn't latch on, that will not be good for him at all. Glasses cleaner for these glasses, but of course I didn't realize they were dirty until I put them on my face, so they kind of look a little bit weird on me right now, so that's great. Good job, me. But the one has a Escape from Tarkov's inspired paint scheme. Yeah, that's what it is. You can see that 9 there. The 9 just barely missed out on the championship. No, Gregson did. I'm not sure who's in that 9. It's like Tostovan, maybe. That's Zachary Tostovan. No, Gregson got second in the championship with Ty Gibbs taking it home. Surprised nobody dumped him in that race. Everybody had the right to, but they decided to play it clean. I'm nice with them. Surprisingly. Race car's going to pull off 50 laps here. About 2 pit stops if I had to guess for these Xfinity cars. And green flag is now in the air. We are underway here at Talladega Super Speedway. The 82 is going to lead that first lap. The 03 of Kenneth McCulloch Jr. will decide to push him for the time being. Moving around a little bit. These Xfinity cars are not as stable as the trucks that they normally run, so drivers have a little bit of a handful tonight. Because of that alone. Might see a little bit more action happen throughout the pack. See where the 21 of Austin Green, yeah, he's kind of out in the middle of nowhere. He is a lap down. He wasn't able to grab onto that back of the pack, so he'll have to get him the next time around. He's already 1 lap down. Going 2 laps down. Now, the thing is, he is the first car a lap down, so he would get the lucky dog if something were to happen up here among these guys. I know they're going to have 1 pit stop at least. He's getting a pretty good shove by that 18, though. Those 82 starts to wiggling around. I can hear tires somewhere, but evidently I'm just hearing stuff now. I think that 14 might just want to keep staying in that lane that he is. I think that's the best option for him currently. That 7 looks like he goes up in front of, kind of follows Ambrose high. See if he just stays with Ambrose again. Looks like he will. These guys might want to tuck in behind each other to save fuel. You got some guys. That right rear is starting to wear a little bit. I know, surprisingly, on these cars, if you're not ready for the corner and you have to jerk it down to the bottom, that actually wears that right rear a good amount. Makes that car a lot looser and harder to drive. Looks like Ambrose and Kevin have just decided to hop up in that top lane in general. That's what these guys just want to do. They're going to bring the 24 and the 54 with them, however, with that move. They're going to get help from it. So 3 lanes have formed now. We'll see how far Ambrose can go. He is leading that top lane. All decide to be pretty calm with themselves. So that top lane is getting a lot of drivers, and it's almost pretty much even split between the top and the bottom. The 14, the 8, and the 5. 5 has somebody behind 10. That's the 9. Not getting close enough to him to make anything work, as the 14 now abandons that top lane, or that middle lane, hops down into the bottom behind the 03 of McCulloch Jr. The 54 may have gotten into the wall there just a little bit. Thought that 7 gave the 4 a tap, but he was right there on the bumper of him. That very top lane is now kind of migrated towards the middle. They've worked their way up here. That's for sure. Somebody blinks out. I believe that's the 54. They don't know where he is now. It's always a scary thing at these tracks. That was a 5, sorry. That blinked out and came right back onto the track. So far, they've been pretty calm. Not too drastic of movements. I mean, putting the 3 wide is definitely taking a shot, but it's not a bad one that you took, really. They made it work. Go on board with, let's do 5 drivers for about 2 laps here around Talladega, and I would just kind of randomly select them. See what some different in-car views look like here. Had a feeling we'd start seeing that. New drivers would start to come down pit road. Come as a group. Oh, we got some guys that got really deep. Actually, Ron Morris Jr. looks like he overshot it. He's going to mess up his pit stall because of that. I had a feeling that around this time, pit stops were going to happen. I was correct to think that, too. So maybe they might have pitted early, possibly, to throw these guys off. That might have been the end of their fuel run. I'm not sure what their fuel load is in this race. However, it varies from driver to driver. As looks like everybody else will come in now. That's everybody else that didn't pit that lap before we got drivers getting in there super deep. Surprisingly, looks like those guys getting cleaner than that smaller group did. Would not expect that to happen, but they didn't drill each other. That's pretty good. See if they can get their pit stalls clean. Looks like most of them can. Very good job by these drivers to get clean into their pit box. But Devin Ray, the 8 and the 2 have decided to stay out. Maybe these guys are going as long as they can on fuel. So the 8 got to be careful with what he's doing. If he gets on the apron too much, it's going to upset that car a lot. Dakota Adkins, that car has a tendency to really snap around once it gets uneven like that. See how deep these guys get in. You can get in a lot deeper than these guys are. They're playing it definitely a lot safer than I would. I'd be sending that thing in there. Get on the brakes as late as I could. But they are clean in also. So this is a group that pitted one lap earlier. Not really that much of a gap to the group behind them that pitted a lap after. So really no advantage was gained from it. It was worth a shot for sure. But I don't see a huge gain at all. It's in the super speedway. As long as you stay in the draft with somebody, you pretty much set. And I think that, yeah, it looks like Ron, he's still in his pits. Yeah, he came back down. This is black flag. I forgot. He did get a black flag for that. Might have been cleared, might have not been cleared. This group of 3 will catch. This group of 2 pretty much go all right on by them. Right around the top side of them. Puts them away like they are nothing. This group up here is now kind of just falling in line with each other. This is a group of 7 drivers. The 82 has a little bit of left side damage from getting crinkled so much, or from getting hit so much. So that 82 does. Get his view. Yeah, you can see, yeah, he does have some damage right there. I knew he had something on that car. Just couldn't see exactly where it was. There was a problem with it. I actually had 2 drivers just run the fastest laps of the race so far at 50.55. These 2 guys pretty much right behind each other. That was a 15 and the 17. Jones and Winker. Kevin Winker is from a league that I used to broadcast. He's kind of hopped over here and does some money races every now and then. Actually need to hop in at this quarter. Not even think about that. Was not even in one. All this, though, working 8 hours pretty much straight through. Not fun at all. That's what I had to do with my job today, basically. And I have to open tomorrow, so hopefully I don't have to come in until 8 o'clock in the morning. So I have to wake up at like 7 something for that. I have to finish a paper for college. Yay, so much fun. I'll tell you what, I don't understand like the point of papers in college. Because, like, you write them and then, I mean, what are they used for? Nothing. Like, they're not used for anything else. I mean, what's the point of writing them? I don't get that. I smell like produce, I can tell you that much. It smells like fruit and vegetable. It's like right now, I mean, it's relatively calm, surprisingly. No, these Xfinity cars, they're not like the trucks. They're not like the next gens. Noses aren't even all the way through. Chevys will kind of point out at the end. Fords are still flat. Toyotas are still semi-flat, but there's definitely a lot of pointy ends on them because of it. Drivers definitely got to be careful when they do go to give a bump. You got to give it in the right spot. As somebody just disappeared. Now they're back. That was weird. What that was, but all these guys are going around. They've done their pit stops. I will take this time to roll the commercials I didn't get to at the start of the stream. We're back. Looks like Ron Morris Jr. is going to hop up in that top lane. He is right now one lap down. That will get him back on the lead lap. However, I believe looks like the 24 is not going to go with him, though. Going to stay in that top lane. Going to get a shove from the 04 of Ambrose Knebel, the 7 of Kevin Winker's going to look to the middle. Thought about looking, just kind of gave him a little peek down there. Now, one thing that I do miss is having the option to adjust tape. Because you talk about running a vehicle hot, because I want to lie downforce, that is exactly what I would do. But, of course, I'm not able to do that because of it, of the next gens taking away that tape option. But Ron's going to lead that bottom lane. Now that 82 is probably not against him leading, so that's helping him save fuel. Winker hops right down to the bottom as soon as he sees the opportunity to get down there. That is not a bad choice from him. I would have done that also. I wish I could turn up the bit rate at the same time as streaming on Facebook, but I would have to end it, so of course I'm not going to do that. I have like these small groups here. We have a group of 7, then we have a group of 3. Well, no, I say 3, actually a lot more than 3. All back here together running in a single file line. These guys realize that they need to stay in line to have the best opportunity to get up front. The 8 and the 9. The 78 of J.R. Miller, the 5 of Brandon Cox is back here also. That pink Toyota Supra. Very glad they started to make that car again, even though it will not look like the 90s vehicles. Those 90s Toyota Supras are extremely sought after, really because of just how they look more than anything else. So the 24 is going to try that top lane again. Going to get side by side with the 82, but he only has the 04 with him. For help, I don't think that'll be enough to really do much. It's worth a shot, though. I will give it to him. He's trying. Just saw an article. Apparently, NASCAR drivers were calling for suspension of Kyle Larson after Homestead. Okay. Makes absolutely 0 sense, but alright. I think some people in this world do not have some brain cells left, evidently, I think in the past couple of years we've somehow gone backwards in evolution, and I don't know how it's possible, but we have. Not really going to get into details, but it's confusing, that's for sure. I'm like, what? You know, this whole race has been, I mean, it's been pretty calm. I'm very, very surprised with that. What is this streaming from? Oh, that's probably why. I need to, oh, what is this? I have no idea what half of this stuff is. I'm gonna have to look at this because OBS updated, so it's definitely giving me some better options for this. Might need to get a stream deck just for this. To be a purchase down the road though. Streaming's not cheap to get what you need to start streaming. It's definitely an expensive hobby. That 24 is trying. He's got the 80 behind the 04, so that 80, what the 80 is doing is he's going to be giving a little bit of an arrow push to that 04 of Ambrose to help get him up there on the bump for the 24. You can really get, once you get 3 cars, that's when you can really start making some moves. The 80 needs to get up a little bit closer to him. That's not the 80 this race. Who is that this race? I'm not exactly sure because I can't see the name on the. I think I might. Costin. No. All right, we're gonna go searching for this 80. Who is this 80? Helmet. No. Is this him? I'm not sure who this is. Oh, that's. Oh, sorry. There he is. Larry McDonald. I don't know why. I was just brushing right over his numbers somehow. Yeah, he is. Looks like he actually is a lap down though, so that's why it wasn't showing up until just now. A little bit confused. I was like, why is his name not anywhere on the track? Looks like at pit stop, so this will be their last pit stop for the race. See how deep these guys get in. Oh, that one smoking his tires, getting there, locking them up, trying to slow down as looks like the 23 overshot. That might be an unsafe pit entry because of that, but that's the second time this little group has had issues getting on pit road. Sorry for my bottle pop there. Luckily, that was not my neck, that was my bottle. That was my fingers if that was able to be heard. Have to see, do these guys come down pit road or they wait a lap? They all start going towards the bottom, then of course they're going to pit road. They're all going to fan out. You guys want to get away from each other. See, yep, there goes the 24 down pit road. Looks like Ambrose is going to stay on the track. Oh, this is not good for Daryl Young. He's the only driver that came down pit road this time. Everybody else stayed out behind him. So that's not good. Not good at all for him. Have to see what this second group does. That doesn't look like it. No, yep, that timing is correct. Have to see what this group will do now that they need to pit. This is the last pit stop of the race for these guys. And we might have to come down after this. Pretty much be foot to the floor, just praying that you don't take each other out after this point. These guys come down pit road. Yep, had a feeling they would. So this group of about 7 cars will come down pit road. Looks like one of them stays out. These guys will get clean. Oh, a little bit of a wiggle there, but a little bit lock up. But that will be 4 tires and fuel for these guys, so they know they'll have fuel to the end. Maybe if their crew chief is telling them something different on their fuel, they might fill it up just a gallon to the good. Second group behind them will come in. This group was definitely a lot smoother in. That's probably the smoothest group in this pit go around. See, now this has pretty much set the stage. No more pit stops after this. Everybody else will just be going green from here on out. Nobody will come down pit road. So it's gonna be a really beating and banging type of race at this point on, or from this point on. Before we get into the action here, we're going to take a quick commercial break. tell you all this. I didn't realize my mic was muted. I was talking to pretty much nobody at that point. But I don't know what you do here if you're the 7, because the 15 just doesn't have help behind him. If he can get like the 1 or the 03 to help shove, I think he has a true shot. But the way it is right now, I don't see Winker being able to mount a true challenge to him quite just yet. He needs that little bit of help behind him. If he can get it, I think he does have a very good shot at it. I think he needs just he needs just a little bit of help, not a lot, just a little bit. Looks like everybody disappears again. The 1, now that 03 have decided to hop up in that top lane. Now it's 2v2v2. These guys right now, this is where they're going to get a little bit antsy. They got to be keeping a very, very steady wheel, because any small movement, you're going to go down into the car below you. It's going to get really, really tight coming off the corner. Oh, that 01 jumps right down in front. Winker actually goes down to the bottom in front of the 82 of Kyler Wynn. That 03 of Kenneth McCullough Jr. also moving around. He's kind of watching these guys go at it, not really trying to make any big moves just yet. He knows what he can do. This group is where it's at right now. That other group, 15 seconds behind, not really a factor here. Not a factor at all. That 1's looking around on the 15, trying to get to just the edge of him. Now that 1 is leading that 1's leading the top lane. 82's pretty much had a hold on this whole group here so far this night. Nobody's really been able to challenge him quite just yet here. That 1's going to get a shove from the 03. Now the 14 has kind of made this an even battle all throughout. Both middle cars have a pusher behind him. Winker is falling back just a little bit. He could be getting just a little bit hot on water temperature and oil temperature at the same time. Those engines will explode if you're not too careful with them. The 1 of McCullough now going to the front. Got Christian McCullough and Kenneth McCullough. 82's he's hanging tough on the bottom. He is really hanging tough on the bottom. That 15 comes up just a little bit. Gonna hurt his exit, but let's see what Kevin Winker does. Will the 14 put him 3 wide like they were earlier? This is where all gloves are off. Drivers having no friends at all. 03's trying to get that 1. 01 cuts down right in front of the 82. Might be a good idea. The 7 of Kevin Winker goes to the outside. He has no help. Have to tuck back in quick as he can. Of course, he will be able to do that pretty fast, knowing how these guys are running side by side, slowing each other down. I believe if the 82 gets clear of the 03, he will hop right up into that middle lane, try to get a shove by the 1 of Kenneth McCullough, but he's boxed in still. That 14 laying it to that 03. That Ford flat front end can really lay it to a driver. That 1's wiggling around. 82's giving him a bump. McCullough almost goes around, saves it though. Now they're wrecking behind. It's going to be the 03 that makes it through. It's going to be a drag race. Looks like the 03 of Kenneth McCullough Jr., he's going to make it through. However, Kyler Wynn might come home. Yeah, he will come home with 3rd. Kevin Winker looks like he'll come home 4th. Alex Hill will come home 5th. But Kenneth McCullough kind of watched that unfold in front of him, and he'll take home the win here tonight. Kind of an odd finish. I don't know what to say about that. It's definitely weird, but no, that will happen. Actually, go back and watch this wreck. That was definitely weird to see. So I know the 1 kind of got lifted off You can see right here. He definitely got a tap from the one. There is no ifs, ands, or buts if he got a tap from the 82. Sorry. The one, yeah, he definitely got a tap from the 82. Looking right there. I mean, the 82 is all over him. I mean, there's nothing that the 82 did wrong there. I mean, he's trying to give the one a shove. And you can shove in the corners just if the driver that you're shoving can take it. And the one kind of tries to merge back up onto the track. Right there is netcode. Drags the other car with him. That's netcode from the 82 and the 14. Winker has absolutely nowhere to go. Just kind of sandwiched in between those two guys. And Kolitz just kind of watched that all unfold in his mirrors behind him, but he's burning it down right now. It's like he burned it down so much, he just blew up the engine on it. Definitely a weird finish to a race. I don't think I've ever saw something finish like that. I have, but that was kind of weird because like it was a crash and then it happened like it didn't unfold the way I thought it would. That's definitely for sure. So yeah, Kyler, when he will come home. Wait, hold on here. Oh, we got two different finishing orders. Let's refresh this here. Because I've got two different orders on SDK. One of them's giving me a different one on the display. Give me a minute here, y'all. I'm trying to figure. Let me give SDK some time to refresh. When it refreshes, that is. Oh, come on. Give me the room. There it is. So, yeah, let me figure this out here for y'all. Okay, sorry about that. For some reason, SDK is not. It's showing the right finishing order, but on my screen for one of them, it's showing the 82 is like 17th. When evidently he didn't finish the 17th. That's weird, but we'll go with that. We will bring in the third place driver of Kyler Wynn. Can't speak apparently. Hey Kyler, this is Bryson Booth. Got a copy, man?
Yeah, got a copy.
Man, so you come home third. Now describe to me, what was going through your head and really what happened, that last corner coming out of four there.
So I was, doing my best to help Chris win because like that's the only thing I could do at that point. And then I hooked him. He got a little bit loose on entry, and I think I hooked him. But he made an amazing save, and then we netcoded after, which is unfortunate. But
Yeah, man,
yeah.
And I was looking at that and I was like, there's really nothing that you did wrong at that point. I mean, you're trying to give, and you can bump in the corners too. It's just really if that guy in front of you can hold on to it. I mean, it is possible at these tracks. So, I mean, there was really nothing that you could have done at that point. I mean, you were trying to just kind of get a guy to go to the front. I was like, well, I mean, that's going to happen at tracks like this too. And then he did save it, and then it was pretty much netcode. I mean, netcode it pretty much dragged you two into each other at that point, and I was like, oh man, that sucks for sure. But You led a lot. Did you think, coming, if that wreck didn't happen coming out of 4, do you think you might have had a shot at winning this race?
Definitely not. It was gonna be one of the McCollums, and one of them did still win it, but um, you know, I was kind of buried there along with my teammate Dylan Jones. Um, we did everything we could, but
Yeah, you kind of get stuck at these tracks. Now, you think that you're clear and you're like, oh, and it's just somebody, you're trying to get clear and your spotter says clear, and then the next second you're not clear, and you're trying to hop up into a different lane. You couldn't get there, and at that point, you were boxed in, you were along for the ride. But I mean, you definitely gave it a shot, and there's nothing that I would have done different at that point. You're just you're just going foot to the floor and seeing if you can get that guy seeing if that guy can hold that bump from you, man. But before I let you go, is there anybody you want to thank, any sponsors you want to shout out that may have been watching the stream here tonight?
yeah, just Dylan Jones, my teammate. He's an excellent teammate. I work with him in pretty much every one of these races.
All right, man. Well, I'll let you go. Good third place finish tonight, though, man.
Yep, thank you.
As we will bring in the second place driver in Dylan Jones. Hey, Dylan, this is Bryson Booth. Got a copy, man?
I sure do.
Man, so you come home second. Describe to me what was going through your head coming off of 4 that last lap, seeing that whole wreck happen.
That I'm probably finishing 4th or 5th. And yeah, they got some nice old final lap contact at the old Talladega, and for once I wasn't collected in it.
Talladega is definitely a track where you can be like, oh yes, I'm gonna win, and you come in that last corner and you're like, oh, there goes my whole race. The whole time that you just race can be over, but you were able to avoid that, and you were kind of up there the whole night too. You were just kind of lingering behind those guys, and I had a feeling that you definitely had a shot. And then when that whole wreck happened, I mean, you just stayed on the bottom and you pretty much just went right around those guys. But if that wreck wouldn't have happened, do you think you would have had a better shot, or do you think you would have finished a little bit worse than where you were at that point?
No, I was probably definitely gonna end up probably 4th there, 3rd if everything really worked out. But yeah, I usually been trying to stay in the bottom lately, because every time I'm out on those outside lanes, I seem to get wrecked. The inside lane always has a problem, takes out the outside lane, so I'm gonna stay in the bottom lane. At least I can turn left to avoid something once in a while.
Yeah, you don't really know where you need to be on these tracks. I mean, bottom's good, top's good sometimes. It just really depends. But before I let you go, is anybody you want to thank, any sponsors you want to shout out that may have been watching the stream here tonight?
No, we got a blank white car out there, but give a shout out to you guys at HSR and Ghost Racing Network for putting this all on for us.
All right, man. Well, I will let you go. Good second place finish tonight here, though, man.
Thank you.
That was Dylan Jones, a second place driver. We will bring in the race winner and Kenneth McCullough Jr. Hey, Kenneth, this is Bryson Booth. Got a copy, man?
Yes, sir. I got you.
Man, so you come home with the win. Describe to me what was going through your head coming off of 4, watching all that carnage in your rearview mirror.
Yeah, that was crazy, man. I know we had 3 teammates up there, and I know we were having to deal with Kyler and Dylan there. I knew we had a shot at it at least.
Yeah, man, it's this tracks like this. No, it's like you can go the whole race, and then your race can come down to one corner, and you can pretty much throw it away at that point. And you were just ahead of all that stuff that happened behind you. I'm thinking there was really only 2 of you that didn't get involved in it. It was you and Dylan. And I thought it was going to be a drag race at that point, but you were in the right spot at the right time. If that wreck wouldn't have happened, do you think you still would have came home with the win, or do you think you would have had a challenge from somebody else? Because you were out front before that crash happened. But how do you think that would have went down if that wreck didn't happen?
I had a good pusher behind me, Alex. This was one of our teammates, and Christopher, my nephew, down on the bottom. Kyler's a really good pusher too. I figured it was going to come out between Kyler giving the good push and Alex, and as long as we and my nephew, one of us got 1-2 there, I was fine with whatever.
Yeah, man, definitely. No, money. That's money earned. Something you can't be bad about that at all. But before I let you go, wait, did I just? No, I didn't ask that. I didn't just ask that. Did I just ask that question, or did I not? Oh no, I didn't. Okay, I was so confused. I'm getting lost in my track of thoughts. But before I let you go, is there anybody you want to thank? Any sponsors you want to shout out that may have been watching the stream here tonight?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Andrew and Taryn for putting these things on. They do a good job. Thank you for doing the broadcast, man. Hell of a job. Thank all them teammates in here, Larry, Alex, Chris, and Ron there. I know they had some bad luck tonight. Wish they could have been up there with us.
All right, man. Well, I will let you go. Good win here tonight, though, man.
Appreciate it, brother. You have a good one.
Dude. Is that with Kenneth McCullough Jr., the race winner? What is this? That is weird. Okay. I got lost my train of thoughts for like half a second there, so I'm sorry. So Kenneth McCullough Jr. comes home first. Dylan Jones second. Kyler Wynn third. Kevin Winker fourth. Alex Hill fifth. Zachary Nelson sixth. Daryl Young seventh. Eighth. Christopher McCullough ninth. Bradley Shepard 10th. Joe Hurt 11th. Zachary Tostovan 12th. J.R. Miller 13th. Chris Vander 14th. Dakota Atkins 15th. Devin Ray 16th. Brandon Cox 17th. Eddie Cox 18th is Drew Hopkins. Let me move this down. 19th, Austin Green. 20th, Larry McDonald. 21st, Ambrose Knebel. 22nd, Cole Larson. 23rd, Darian Hellman. 24th, Ron Morris Jr. And then 25th is Michael Skeely. Starting to stumble over my words. That is the exhaustion from working 8-hour shift with no breaks. And I'm tired. That's great. Good job, me. Stay up till 2 in the morning. Don't do that if you or me or any college student. Not a good idea. Just heads up. But thank you all for coming out for this stream. I'm going to roll this ad, and I'll let you all go before I fall asleep.